Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. You are watching my fall card series for 2024. Let's jump right into today's video. So I'll be using these two die sets by Tim Holtz. The one with the umbrella is the Gent, and then the one with all these shapes is Abstract Elements. So as you can see, I have cut the umbrella in my Big Shot machine off camera, and then I'm going to add some color to this, and we will be cutting the abstract elements in a little bit, and I'll show you that. So I'm choosing to create a yellow umbrella, and then I also cut some vellum to piece back together into this umbrella. I did not want this umbrella to be super bright, but I wanted it to stand out. I'm going to be using the abstract elements to create some leaves, and I'm going to be cutting them myself to create some leaves. So I'm going to be using the leaf shapes, like the oval, abstract ovals, but I'm going to be adding some more fall leaf shape to them with my scissors. So as you can see, I am just piecing this umbrella back together, adding that vellum in, and then I do come back in with a black Spectrum Noir marker to add some detail to the umbrella handle. And then I'm using the My Sweet Petunia glue press to do all this, and I wasn't worried about the glue showing up under the vellum, because if there was anything that was noticeable, it would just be the water on the umbrella, at least what I was thinking, or some raindrops. So I'm going to add some details to this as well to bring in that rain effect as we go along. I really love how this card turned out. I had this idea in my head, and it came out pretty good, in my opinion. You'll have to let me know down below. So we're going to put that off to the side, and we will come back to that later and add some rain effects. But here are the oval-ish shapes, that leaf shape in the abstract elements die, and just punching those out from all of the cutting that I did. I cut out a bunch of them, and I used most of them. So did the fall colors, and then I also did the more tree branch as well in the green from the abstract elements, and cut out all of the oval leaf shapes in yellow, orange, and red. So here you go. So I'm going to just bring my scissors in and kind of cut triangles in them, make them more pointed like a leaf would be, add some detail, and this took me quite a bit of time, and I did not film the whole process because it was quite time consuming, and you're gonna get the idea. And I totally could have just left them alone, but I definitely wanted that detail in there. Abstract detail. Then there is like shapes that kind of are similar to this, but they kind of felt more feathery to me than leaf, so that's why I chose to cut my own designs into this shape. So I will show you a few of them, and then I will do the rest off camera, and then we can go ahead and keep on moving along with the card. So I am going to add the different pieces in where I want them, just experimenting for now, and then I will go ahead and start gluing things down. So to glue things down, I flipped the umbrella upside down, and I'm adding glue, and I'm just going to start putting these leaves and then the tree branch, or the tree branch, palm branches, not really sure what to call those, but the green branches into this umbrella and just start building that up. The rain is coming down and the fall leaves are falling and they got caught in this umbrella, and I just think this is so sweet and just so fun. And I love how this comes together. Right now it doesn't look like much as I just kind of piece it together on the back, but once I flip it over, you're going to see the detail. Wanted to fill in the gaps as well, then I did have to cut a few more of those pieces. Get the details to the leaves. And then I flip it over and I see that there's a few more gaps, so I fill those in and build up the leaves in this umbrella. So all of the supplies that I can link to, I will link to those down in the description box. I did pick these dies up at Amazon, so I'm not sure if they are available on Simon Says Stamp and Scrapbook.com, where I can link to, but I will try my best. But definitely check out your local retailers and Amazon, because they usually will have certain dies in stock. But look at this set. Like, look at these fall leaves in there. I love it. So now I'm adding those raindrop effects in here with the Scrapbook.com pops of color in clear, adding some raindrops on the umbrella, adding some raindrops over the leaves, and then I'm also going to go in over the umbrella handle and just add this clear over it just to make that part stand out amongst the vellum. And then I'm going to flick it a little bit. This was a little bit hard because the leaves were still wet, but I didn't want to stop creating this card. But I did go ahead and leave this overnight to make sure that all of the leaves were in place and the glue was dry and the pops of color were dry. There was no way I was going to mess with this and keep creating. I wanted this to be super dry to keep on moving along with the card. I definitely love the raindrop effect here. So flicking it makes them more flat, because when the pops of color or nouveau drops come out, sometimes they can be quite pointed, but if you flick the back of the card stock, it makes them more flat and look a little bit nicer. But if you like the pointed look, you can keep it that way. So just adding that clear coat over the umbrella handle, then I will set this off to dry, and then I'll go ahead and work on the background to this card. Alright, so I am using this Swiss Dots Rainbow Splash embossing folder from Simon Says Stamp. I ran that through my Big Shot machine. I thought that this kind of looked like raindrops as well, and I wanted a simple background, so I didn't take away from this umbrella with all the fall leaves. I wanted the umbrella to be the focus. So just adding that background in, and all of the glue is barely art glue inside, and I'm using the My Sweet Petunia glue press. And then I'm going to adhere it down. And then at first I chose to do the Tim Holtz watercolors because I thought I'd get a subtle blue background. So I'm just coloring that on, and then I will come in with my watercolor brush. But it was too light, and I didn't feel like I was seeing the background. So I'm going to get out my Distress Oxides here in a little bit in the same color that I am watercoloring right now. So as you can see, it's just not picking up the color because there's just, maybe I didn't put enough on. I just wanted it to be subtle, but I wanted it to be a little brighter and bolder than I was getting here. it just wasn't spreading. I probably just didn't put enough watercolor on. So here I just smush on the ink, and then I use my distress sprayer to spray this, and then I use the brush to blend it all together and spread that ink out. Then we can go ahead and add that umbrella on and add a sentiment as well. You could definitely put this the other way as well, but I loved the look of it upside down, but you could put it upright as well. So I'm stamping a sentiment from a Lawn Fawn stamp set. I'm not sure what it is called off the top of my head, but if I can find it over at Simon Says Stamp or scrapbook.com, I will link it down below. I'm stamping that on vellum and then using the Ranger clear embossing ink to emboss this and make the sentiment a little bit raised on the vellum. I love to do this on vellum because it just seals it, and it's such a fun effect. And I did not want to lose my background or make the sentiment the focal point. Again, I wanted the umbrella to be the focal point, so by adding vellum with the sentiment, I feel like you can make your image be the focal point. So just cutting that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. You're going to see me doing the Barely Art glue for the sentiment. Right now I am doing the Barely Art glue in the glue press to adhere the umbrella, but I'm going to use this as well to do the sentiment, and sometimes this works for me and sometimes it doesn't, but I did opt to grab out my advanced tape glider and use that to adhere this down after, just to give it a little bit more hold. And I left this card the way it was, except for adding some more ink distressing around the edges just to bring in a little bit more of the black from the sentiment. And I feel like it also made the umbrella stand out as well. I love the cream yellow vellum look to this umbrella, and then just all of those fun pops of fall colors in this umbrella. I really love how this card turned out. Here is a close-up. So that is going to finish up today's card. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments if you love how this card turned out. This is probably one of my favorite fall cards I've made ever. Love it. But that is all for today's video, so thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.